some awesome giveaways that we are going to be giving away live. So it will just be random as to anyone who's actually on the webinar. So if they registered but couldn't make it, it'll just be everybody who's here. So super excited about that. We have our biggest announcement ever, I think, that we have had that we're super excited to announce as well. And then obviously breaking into wholesale, which 2020 is going to be all about wholesale. So if this is something that you are already in, if it's something that you have thought about dabbling in, this is going to be it. This is the year for it. It is all about replenishable sources, not wanting to scour stores or, find great products, but then you can't really buy them again. We are going to have, we're going to cover how you can find the products that work best for your business, because everybody's different. Everybody's ungated in different things. Everybody is, has different niches that they like to sell in. So this is really a way to make 2020 about what's best for your business, but finding those brands that you can continuously source from and build integrity and, get ungated more and more. And, the more accounts that you open. And it seems very, very intimidating, but it is not. It's actually way easier than you think. And this is a journey that we ourselves have been on without all the great resources and tools that are out there. So we're going to take you along with us on the journey that we went to, and then hopefully get you on the right track for your own journey in 2020 in wholesale. So I am going to share my screen. Be patient with me a little bit, and we'll get started. Look at that store. All right. Looks so good. All right, let me share my screen.
Awesome, guys. So so what's up? Obviously a lot of we do have our own retail store, toy store. So it has given us a lot of experience, obviously with opening wholesale accounts, dealing with brands, and we're able to bring a lot of those resources and what we've learned to you guys. So, tonight we're going to be talking about, expanding your business into, wholesale in the coming year. And now is really, the best time. Implementing key strategies, and every year should grow year after year. You should have, some kind of an exponential increase. We've been, and we'll cover this in a little bit, but I've been going, with Amazon since 2012. So every year you should be growing. And we're going to show you, how we've taken the things that we've done and kind of, grown those into other sourcing methods. So if you're doing, RA or OA or even wholesale, we've learned a lot. There's very few Amazon sellers who've done a lot of the things that we've done, including having a retail store, dealing with wholesale, doing, online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, done all of that. So, we're going to show you some of the things we've done to be successful, and, hopefully you'll be able to implement some of those in your own business.
Sweet. Yep. All right, cool. So can everybody, hopefully, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So we that's going back right to what he said. So expanding your business into wholesale in 2020, implementing the most successful key strategies for your most profitable year yet. So that's really what this is going to be about, is key strategies that, again, should just be very simplified. Like, it's not as complicated as so many people think. And a lot of times you're your own worst enemy. You're holding yourself back more than what's out there is holding you back. So we want to cover that and what you got to do. And it's very, it's very basic. So, do you want to?
Yeah. So, what we're going to do tonight is help people who, want to increase their business and, have growth in 2020. Show you how we've streamlined our sourcing processes, implementing strategies and tools, and, yada yada. The same thing everybody else tells you. You come to these webinars and they tell you a bunch of stuff and then nothing ever happens. So hopefully we're going to show you how they work. I can show you how we're obviously doing it. Somebody else can talk about it. I'm showing you. Most of you guys follow me on Facebook. You can see, we have an actual business. We're not talking about buying stuff. We're not talking about wholesale. We're not talking about arbitrage. You see, we're doing it. I've got a retail store, a very packed retail store. So that this stuff works. So we're going to show you how we've done it, and how we continue to grow. Including a retail store, which may not work for everybody. But it has helped us grow, and it's helped us learn a lot. So the people who want to find top selling products and brands to source from without wasting time. I'm sure, like me, a lot of you have, kind of just been spinning your wheels at some point, trying to find good selling products. And, obviously a lot of people make a lot of money on Amazon, and it's not easy. It's hard to find those good products until you figure it out. That's why, you see a lot of these top sellers just have so many great selling products, because once you learn how to do it, once you figure it all out, then it's easy to look at the top 10 products on Amazon, but those products have hundreds of sellers, and there's not a lot of profit to be made there. So you kind of have to find a happy medium, and hopefully we'll show you how we do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, everyone's different too. A retail store might not be your goal. Obviously, it's been a goal that, at one point, never, ever probably thought or, wanted to, but thought it was possible as easy as it was in just a short few years. But, some of you might just want the year 2020, you would just want to learn how to open, contact wholesale brands and not get absolutely shut down. So it doesn't matter, how big your goal is at this time. It's the fact that you should be evolving in 2020, whether it's going big into wholesale because you're already dabbling a little bit or just starting out. Evolve. Like that's what you need to do. And, we're going to hopefully help you to do that. So, some of our top students this year, this was our biggest year helping people. We were so lucky to have helped hundreds of sellers of all different, mastery classes. It was a great opportunity for us. We were very lucky. And some of our top students, doubled, tripled their sales. And so in order for you to kind of be on that same basis, if that's a goal for you, if it's a lot smaller, maybe you just want to start something, you want to just start in a wholesale, the key to growth in 2020 is going to be implementing those strategies and tools to generate consistent profits throughout the year, not ones that are, inconsistent, obviously, but you don't know how much you're going to source. You don't know how much is going to be in your inventory. You don't know, you're constantly scrambling. This is going to be building consistency through the entire year, through next year's Q4. That's the way to do that. And we have found that reverse sourcing is the best, in our opinion, but easiest way as well to do that. To narrow it down, to do the complete opposite of perhaps what you've been doing, what we did for years. Reverse sourcing has just really changed our business, and we want to show you how to do that. So building it with replenishable products, that's where wholesale comes right back in. You can carry them through. You have dependable, reliable sources direct from the brand, and you can constantly, keep building that. So um, let's find out who Shawn Mayo. Who are you? Why don't you tell us about yourself?
All right, awesome. So most of you know me. While we're doing this, if you guys can just tell me what kind of sourcing you guys are doing, if you're doing OA, RA, wholesale, even if you're doing private label or all of that, so then we can, kind of cover, the best ways to grow all that. But, who am I? Most of you know me. If you're here, you were probably on our mailing list already. You bought something from us, but I've been an Amazon seller for over 7 years. We started in August of 2012. I've made books, wrote books, comic book or coloring books, you name it. Help people with coaching. We started literally with nothing. I've created software, Sourcing Secret. A lot of you may know about, as well as a lot of other tools that literally nobody in the Amazon space is doing, because, if somebody else is doing it, I'd rather just buy their stuff, and create products that are really going to help you guys, because, there's plenty of stuff out there to buy, but, I'd rather just buy it myself if someone else is already doing it. So, I kind of have, the idea that I only want to create products that don't already exist, make things in the space that, that nobody else is doing. Obviously, I don't want to copy anyone, even though, everybody copies me. So can you go to the next slide, please?
Yep.
So, over the past 7 years, coached thousands of entrepreneurs to build businesses, books on wholesale, out of the box sourcing techniques is what I call what I do, and Sourcing Secret, obviously, and millions of dollars in Amazon sales. If you do RA, I've had in the past I've had a team that just to do RA, that we went to the store, scanned every product top to bottom, and every product in an aisle, top to bottom, go to Walmart, whole team scan and find everything we're selling. Before OA, existed, before there was coaches, before, there was any software for Amazon sellers, we were doing it. So, I had to learn all of it myself, and, whatever form of sourcing you're doing, maybe borrowing private label, even though we have done that as well. I've done it, and I've done it big. And when I started, I worked in the carnival business. I was the fourth generation in the carnival business, and we basically, I worked for the largest traveling carnival in America, or in North America, actually, and basically somebody new took it over. I was the assistant to the owner of the company, and they so he basically became the CEO, and the person really didn't like me who took over where I was working. So I got laid off. I had no money. My wife was pregnant. I bought a almost brand new truck, a trailer, and kind of spent all my money on that. So I had really no money to do anything. So when I learned about Amazon, I basically sold things that I had around my house. What we've been telling people to do for a long time. We yard sales, flea markets, thrift stores, sold things around, that I had around my house. Had basically bought scan power, a label printer, a barcode scanner, with my profits, and just kept rolling that money, week after week, month after month, and year after year, to get where we're at now. Now, we have a retail store. I have a team of dozens of employees, both Americans and, people in the Philippines, computer programmers, developers. I have people on my team who, help build some major parts of, of the Amazon back end. And we did that basically starting with nothing. So however much you started to invest, however much, you're investing and flipping every time you get paid, it doesn't matter. With perseverance and hard work, you can get to, any point. There was no tools, no software, yeah, so Valerie's going to tell you about one of our very successful students that took all the steps and how, we came to know her.
Yeah. So, yeah, we don't want you to just take it from us. This is just kind of a little bit of background, but this is from one of our students, Jen, who kind of came to us in a different way than a lot do. We have people that come to us, reach out because they've seen our class, reach out because of whatever, maybe down the normal streams of getting in touch with us or knowing what they want to do. And Jen, on the other hand, I got a call very late at night. So, and we do have a team that's our support team for our students is available all the time. That's one of the things that we really take pride in. And you may not want to read all of this because it's a lot, but basically this was her quote to us. But so she came to knowing us late at night and made a purchase with another company that was a very, very expensive class. I think, if I recall, the class that she had taken was like $7,000. And it ended up not being good for her at all. There was no support. She really just felt at a loss. So she reached out to us, lost money on that. But, we've all been there. The last thing we would want to do is, even in that kind of awkward moment, is help her get on track. So, and a lot of times, if there's not something our team can do, we work with industry leaders that are just, they have their own valuable tools or resources, whatever it may be. And that's what, e-commerce should be about, is all of us, working together to build this industry. So we got her down the right path. We hooked her up with some other, other teams and leaders that could offer her the path that she wanted to get down. And she took the right path. She would email our support team if she had questions. She would ask the questions. She would take the classes. She did what she needed to do to get herself back on the right track. We helped her, and that's really what we want to do as well. We want to, give everyone the tools that are out there, whether it's from us or somewhere else, but those tools are out there, and next year is around the corner, and you can take a look at everything you did for 2019, all the obstacles you faced, everything you wished you would have done, and you can change that. You can make 2020 a completely different year. And it's so easy. It's so much easier than you may think. And we are here for that. Like, obviously, maybe not at 10:30 at night. I just wouldn't mind if you, maybe call me like 5. I love you, Jen. But just saying that we're here for that. And that's what we want. And that's how you grow. And you just have to take the opportunity. So what we want to cover on this webinar, and it is so basic sounding, but the secret, all of this, excuse me, I beg your pardon. Find products worth selling. I mean, you probably go like, well, yeah, that's what I want to do all the time, right? Well, right, exactly. But are you? Did you do that consistently last year? Okay, let's do that 2020. Secret 2, contacting the brands. Super terrifying, right? They don't want to hear from us, whatever. We will take that fear away. And secret number 3, opening wholesale accounts without being ignored. A lot easier than it seems. We've done it. We've helped a lot of other people do it. And, we want to help you do it as well. So, Shawn, if you want to go ahead and take secret number 1.
Right, so just to cover that, if anybody has ever tried to open a wholesale account, and we have contacted literally thousands of brands at this point, you find something worth selling, then, it's kind of a nightmare trying to find, contact information, every group, people, are saying two things, when it comes to wholesale. And, one is, I can't like find anywhere, can somebody just give me one, wholesale distributor contact, one wholesale contact? And the other issue is, I contact these brands and they ignore me. They just won't respond no matter what I do. Has that ever happened to anybody? Has anybody ever tried to contact a brand, tried to open an account, and they just never respond to you? You get no response whatsoever. I'd really like to know if that's ever happened to somebody. Let me know in the chat. But you know, right, they don't accept more Amazon sellers. And there's a lot. There's a good reason for that, and I'm going to cover that a little bit later. But the people who are teaching you how to do wholesale, who aren't me, are tell you things that may have been a good idea 2 years ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago, but it's not a good idea now, and it's made almost all of these brands jaded towards Amazon sellers. So once you know how to deal with them, once you know what to do, things become amazingly simple. So, like we said here, I don't understand how reverse sourcing will work for me. And most people don't understand what reverse sourcing is. So reverse wholesale sourcing is when you find a good brand, right? We know lots of brands that sell well, right? Everybody knows stuff that sells well on Amazon. It's the most ridiculously easy thing to do. Go to the Amazon homepage, movers and shakers, top sellers, or do any search and see what comes up first. Everybody knows what sells well, but I don't know if you guys watch South Park, but there was this old episode where there were these underpants gnomes that would steal they would steal people's underwear, and they didn't understand, they had pie charts and everything. And step one was steal underwear, right? And step three was profit. But, the hard part is finding out, what goes in the middle, right? So, what goes in the middle is obviously getting in touch with those brands. But for one, they don't like you because you're an Amazon seller. And I'll explain to you how to deal with that in a minute. But the other issue is that, how do I even contact them? It is painfully hard to even find contact information for brands. I'm going to show you a few ways that we do it, because I've literally found, gotten contact information for our clients for thousands and thousands and thousands of brands at this point. So go to the next slide, please.
Sorry. I was just so active.
Right. So, you might be thinking you don't understand how reverse sourcing will generate consistent profits. So, I think the first step and the first thing, that we always want to do is, if you're doing OA, RA, bundling some, like you guys told me, you already have great brands and great products. So all if you go and find stuff RA, right? And, I'm in toys, I'm surrounded by, Funko. Everybody loves Funko. There's literally thousands of different Funko Pops out there now. I'm sure everybody has seen one. They sell them at Walmart and Target and, toy stores and comic book stores, and, tons of them on Amazon. And everywhere you may see a toy, you're going to see, a Funko Pop. It's actually one of these things, okay? So it's like, some of them are bobbleheads, some of them are little statues. They all look pretty similar, and it's this. So, when we look at the movers and shakers, there's always a bunch there. Every time you do a search of toys, they've kind of like overrun the idea of, of toys. They sell every niche, every brand, Star Wars, every TV show, some movie nobody's watched in 20 years, they probably have one for. So, there's just, and there's a lot of brands like this in every category. So, the thing is, if you buy one of these, Walmart has exclusives and Amazon has exclusives, and I don't know about Target, but like Walgreens has a bunch of exclusives for them. So, if you get a wholesale account with them, and also it's a gated brand. So that kind of takes me into, we've all run into brand gating. Funko's a gated brand, but we can buy them at Walmart and, and Walgreens and everywhere. So the good thing about getting a wholesale account and getting ungated is that once you get ungated in something, you can buy it anywhere. Okay. Amazon does accept items that are, receipts from a retail store, not for ungating, but they will accept them, to prove authenticity. So if you buy something, somebody says it's fake, they ask you for a receipt or an invoice, you can give them a Walgreens receipt, a Walmart receipt, wherever you got it from, to prove that it's authentic.
I gotta, so Michael, if you want to just touch on this, because we get this all the time.
Right.
So he said that, they don't, Funko, for example, doesn't accept, say that they don't accept any more Amazon sellers, and it's almost impossible to profit from.
Right. Well,
So.
Michael wasn't talking about Funko in this situation. They will accept you as an Amazon seller. They will accept almost anyone. They'll accept anyone basically. If you're a brick and mortar store or an online seller is all they want. I don't know what else there is. Maybe if you have yard sales, they won't sell it to you, but yes, Funko definitely will accept you, right, Michael? So Funko is impossible to, yes, I agree 100%. I won't even buy them from my retail store as far as buying them direct. But I do have a wholesale account. And there's a good example. If you're doing RA or OA right now, you can find like Walgreens exclusives, Walmart exclusives. There's a ton that you can buy doing RA to get, you can buy a ton of these doing RA and make great profits. Like I buy them every week, that I sell for $20 to $30. Now, if you buy just the normal ones, as an example, they're about $7.30, I think, wholesale, if you buy one. Now, the normal price is on Amazon for most of them is like $7.20 to $7.50. Obviously, you can't make any money like that. But if you're doing RA and doing OA, you can open an account and then you can buy that anywhere. Same with Star Wars. You get ungated in Star Wars or Mattel or Hasbro or, Marvel, DC, you name it. You can then buy those products anywhere. You can buy them, at Amazon. You can buy them. You buy them at Walmart or Target or wherever, and then flip them back on Amazon once you get ungated. So there's a ton of good opportunities when you open up wholesale accounts. So the way that this works is, we have put all of these sourcing methods together. We don't say like some of those guys, oh, you have to do wholesale, or, this is only going to work if you do RA or OA or whatever it is. When you put those all together, for us, a lot of magic has happened where we can use our wholesale accounts to get ungated and then be able to source those things in a retail environment. And make a ton. There is a ton of profit to be made using like this one. This is a Walmart exclusive or a Walgreens exclusive. We sell it in our store for $20. I think this sells for maybe $25, $26 on Amazon the last time I checked. So right. So, this is just an example. We do this with a ton of brands, literally every brand. There's going to be products, you can't buy everything. So, we can't buy everything wholesale, but there's a lot of products that are exclusives. There's Walmart and Target, every brand kind of has exclusives, even Amazon. I've got stuff in here that's $400 or $500 in the store that, with Amazon exclusives that we're now, I could sell them and they're completely sold on Amazon, and we could sell them for a great profit. So the truth is, reverse sourcing process works to buy anything you're looking for to sell without randomly searching for products. So, what we do is we find products doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and when we find a good brand, a good line, then we're going to open an account, a wholesale account with them. And then, so even, we used to be really heavy into groceries, and, we would find a ton of good stuff, and if you go to Walmart, spices, condiments, coffee related things are huge, creamers and, all that stuff, ketchups and barbecue sauces, and every area is going to have regional products. So what we've done is we take, so we find, as an example, we'll find a good barbecue sauce, or, Hills Brothers coffee, I use as an example a lot, that was only available in a certain part of America, usually the Midwest. People who move from there now want those products, right? Same why Trader Joe's is so hot on Amazon, because Trader Joe's isn't everywhere. So when somebody moves away, the only way to get that is to go on to Amazon or eBay and buy those products. So, so what we've done is we've kind of married all these sourcing ways together, and brand gating is huge. I'm sure most of you've seen in every Facebook group people talking about how they got ripped off by some guy that was selling ungating in brands. But with wholesale, you do it yourself. Even if you break even, which we've done a lot of times. I'm selling something on Amazon right now. I wanted to get ungated in Marvel. So I bought something and I'm losing like 50 cents a piece on them right now. But, I bought 4 or 5 cases. I sent in my invoices, and now I can sell anything Marvel. And there's thousands of Marvel toys out there, and we're ungated in it. And, I'm selling it at cost or losing some money, but, you didn't have to spend $500 to get ungated in it. You bought some toys, you made your order, you sent them your invoice. And that's really all there is to being ungated in a brand. And people make a lot more out of this than it really has to be. So
That's a massive point, like a huge point, and a huge mistake that so many people make.
And the bigger issue, the reason why you see a lot of people promoting ungating services, and they end up being a scam, like over and over and over. I did, promote one person years ago, which was Nathan Slamans. It's Andy Slamans' nephew. Most of you know those guys. And, they obviously everything they do is with integrity, and that's before they kind of work together. So, he did a great job of doing that. He doesn't do it anymore. But since then, I've never really promoted anyone else because, there's shady, people doing stuff, and, I can't be accountable, especially if you get caught, using a fake invoice, which is what most of these guys are doing, then you're never, ever going to sell on Amazon again. There's no company you can hire that's going to get your account back. If you get caught providing fake invoices. Just, it's so easy. Just buy some products, and send the invoice in, and, and that's it. And then sell it and break even, and it costs you literally nothing. So I'm going to share my screen now.
Yeah.
And, I looked a little while ago at, there we go, take that over. And sorry, I guess I'm on the wrong screen. Okay, so I looked a little while ago. I just pulled up the Amazon bestsellers page. We're talking about Funko, and I looked on here. So if you go to the Amazon bestsellers, we're looking, I think, at action figures. We see Funko over and over and over again, right? So, this shows the top 50, and it looks like there's about 10 or 11 out of them. So, 20% of the bestsellers right now are Funko. Now, if you look at these, and the reason why I said Funko is because of this reason. We look at these, we know they sell for about $7 and some change, wholesale, right? Plus shipping. You got to buy it by the case, which is usually about 4 of them. But if we look at frozen, I'm kind of using something that I know a lot of people aren't going to be doing because, I don't want to make this webinar and then who knows, hundreds, thousands of people eventually are going to see it. I don't want to out anybody's, wholesale, brand they're making a living from. But I mean, we can see there's a ton of good ones here, right? This is a hot brand. And, when you're looking at wholesale, you don't want to look at a specific product, right? Like I'm not getting an account with Marvel. I'm not getting an account with Funko because there's one toy I want to sell. Like I know for a fact that probably nothing on here I can even break even on, right? Like at $8 and I'm paying 7 and change and shipping, I'm not going to get, I'm not making any profit at $8.52 or $8.78 or $10 or probably even $11, right? So, but this is, we look at the brand as a whole, right? Funko is a good brand. There's a lot of opportunity. They have about an 18 months, lifespan. So, they get discontinued, prices go up. There's tons of exclusives. There's like super exclusive ones that, like conventions, Comic-Cons and all that, where, some of them are thousands of dollars right now because they're just so limited. So, we see, the Stan Lee and multiple frozen ones, 3 frozen ones at least. So there's a ton of them in the best sellers, which means, overall we can make a pretty good guess that there's going to be a lot of good selling products. Now, I know for a fact that there is, so, this is kind of how we do the research. We're going to look at the top selling products in any niche, any category, subcategories, and then we're going to look at that brand, as a whole. And we're going to say, is this the kind of brand that I want to do business with? And is it worth my investment of time to do business with this type of company? And, do I want to spend that time, opening an account? Because each wholesale account you open is going to take time. They have questions. You have usually an application, forms to fill out. Every company in America, you're going to have to send them your tax ID. So there's a ton of, there's a lot of time involved, no matter what, to open one of those brands. So
that's progression.
Right. So
you want to do a giveaway?
Yeah, I'm just going to share my screen. So let me just get back to where we were. Sorry about that. So, the second secret is contacting brands. Most sellers think contacting brands is impossible unless having a store, and you're going to be denied. So, I know a lot of you guys have, you already told me, they don't want to take Amazon sellers. They don't want, you think they don't want you. And there's a really good reason for that. In the past, all these guys with courses and YouTube videos, they tell you, hey, you should hire a bunch of VAs and go and, send out, 200 emails a day or a week or whatever it is. And, open as many accounts as you can, get that list from them, process that list and move on. But, building big software tools and dealing with big data, you kind of have to look at the big picture. So, what we've done is, and we've, I've hired some, some really smart people to help me, people who have worked with brands and worked with distributors and worked, with, big companies like Walmart and, Kmart and Target. And, so I've been able to get a lot of insights on why, people don't like Amazon sellers. There's not like a really good reason why, a brand wouldn't want to sell to you, right? There's, biggest platform in the world, and there's a lot of business going on there. They have billion-dollar days on Amazon. So there's not a good reason why, but, when you look at the big picture, there's a great reason why. So, if you're even like a medium-sized brand that, people know about, when it's not just you opening an account, you have this brand and all of a sudden, dozens or maybe even hundreds of people may be contacting you a day to open wholesale accounts. And you're like, okay, great. You hire somebody making whatever, 40 to $100,000 a year to open these accounts that never materialize into anything, right? There's emails back and forth, phone calls. You got to get that sales tax ID, to prove to the IRS you weren't supposed to collect sales tax. You have to set up on the computer, file all their information away, in case you ever get audited, and so much more stuff that we don't think about as Amazon sellers to open an account. So, what happens is, okay, great. All these Amazon sellers say, hi, I'm an Amazon seller. I want to open an account. Great. Here's, fill this out, send it to us. We go through all that. And then after hundreds or even thousands of these guys and nobody ever buys anything, you say, well, hey, I just don't want to deal with Amazon sellers anymore because all these guys are doing is getting my list. And, you got 20 or 30 or 100, lists from other brands behind you because, you got 10 VAs doing this now. And then you don't, you never ever buy anything from them because you're just moving on to the next one and, trying to find that best deal, right? So, these brands just don't like you anymore. So what happens is, you're gated in categories, you're gated in brands, that when you find products, you can't sell them, and you think because you're a beginner, you can't get ungated. So kind of this is kind of the truth and kind of not, but, it seems like brands don't like money. They definitely don't like to answer emails. And, they extremely seem to not like Amazon sellers. So, the opportunity is definitely there. So, what we found is that, I do everything with integrity, and, I tell you guys all the time, you have to do business with integrity. If you lie to these brands, they're going to figure it out, right? Like, these companies that are making tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, right? They're not dumb. They didn't get to that point by being dumb. Like, if you order 100 cases of, let's say Funko Pops again, and then, there's 100 cases of Funko Pops that what you just bought, is on an Amazon listing, it's not hard for them to figure out, that, you're the person who did that and you're an Amazon seller that lied to them, to get an account. So, in the end, that's, this is what happens, they find out Amazon sellers are liars, and it's, so time consuming opening accounts, and most of them don't buy anything. They just don't want to deal with you, right? So, the reality of the situation is that I don't tell them that I'm an Amazon seller, right? When I open an account, I say, and we've kind of built templates and the exact emails that we've used. I've, spent literally tens of thousands of dollars, hiring a lot of freelancers that work with these companies that I mentioned before that, have helped us build, emails that, show these brands, exactly what they want to see, without lying to them and without, and being able to work with them with integrity and have long-term relationships. I could go back and buy stuff from Walmart again if I just wanted, to get stuff and never have to deal with them again. But I want to build relationships with this brand. I want to be selling their products, for years. And, it takes a long time, sometimes to figure these great products out, the great brands, and, get these accounts open. So, I don't want to, just be, oh, I got one order in, I got one over on them. And now I'm going to move on to the next thing, right? Once you find a great brand, especially if you're a newer seller, you're kind of going to be set, you're kind of set, almost set for life, right? But at least set for, your buying season. If you get one good brand, for example, we just became a dealer. I'm not going to mention the brand right now, but, we just became a dealer for a brand that I believe there was about 97, 98 products that were worth selling. All like between 20 and 80% ROI, and it's one brand, and I kind of said, basically under 100,000 in rank, and I think it's maybe between 50 and 100% I'm sorry, 15 and 100% ROI. And there was nearly 100 products, and they're all good. They're great selling products. And just as an example, I mean, I think if we bought like 3 of each of them, it was about $12,000. So, it's a huge opportunity, and that's just to deal with one brand. We've estimated through our software there's probably 100,000 brands that are selling well on Amazon, like in the 100,000 or less range, that have sold recently. So there's a ton of opportunity out there. You just have to get through to those brands. You have to tell them what they want to hear, and we've had some great experience doing that. So
let me give some things away real quick. We're a little behind. I think we need to catch up on people.
Right. Yeah. Who wants a giveaway? Who wants
a giveaway? All right. So since we're a little behind, I'm going to give away 2 that might make up for the time. So I have 2 questions, and it's going to be whoever answers them first. So I will throw out the first question out there, and we are going to give away our auto ungating list. I will send you all the information about it when I have your email. It is brands that automatically ungate. If this is something that you already have, and just in our email, we'll figure it out. But anyway, so the first person that answers in the chat,
first person I see.
Yeah.
Okay. First person I see is going to be the one that wins. Okay.
Yeah. Got it.
Flags and all that. So.
So here we go. What year did Shawn mention and say that he started selling on Amazon?
Okay, so I don't even know you. Okay, it's not 2016, but 2012. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's Ron Tager.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Ron, I know your email, so I will.
We'll get in touch with you. I know you bought a lot of stuff from us, so if you bought that, we'll figure out something.
We'll give you something else. All right. Okay. The second question is, and if this isn't a brain buster, then you guys just pay attention. No. What industry was Shawn in before he started selling on Amazon? What did you do?
Okay. No, it wasn't a circus. Okay.
Were you like the running around, or like the guy on the elephant?
No.
Oh, you were for sure the aerialist. You were like swinging.
Yeah, that's what I do. So it's Brian. I don't want to mess your last name up, but Brian Polarski. I hope I got that right.
Brian. So, okay.
Comics, right, Kimberly. No, I am in the comic business now. We actually have about 25,000 comics in our store now.
A juggler. A farmer? Oh my God, I am cracking up with these. These are hilarious. Okay, so where was or who was it that had it? Brian what? Brian Carnival? Who is it?
No, not Carnival. That's what I did.
What was it?
Brian Polarski.
I'm trying to look for him so I can see his name. Brian, can you email, or not email, there's a Q&A button down at the bottom instead of putting it in the chat so everybody won't know your email address. And the Q&A button, press it, and then send me your email so that I can give you. Oh, I see you. Okay.
Yeah, William, a lot of people aren't sending messages to the chat. They're actually sending messages just to the panelists, which there's only 2 of us. So.
Oh, yeah. I see what they did.
If you want everybody to see the messages, make sure it doesn't say to all panelists, but it says all panelists and attendees.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, Brian, you did yours to just the panelists. All right, so Brian, can you do that though?
Yeah, he already sent it.
Perfect. All right.
Okay, we're good. So, okay, so we're gonna get back to it, but we're gonna, as we go, we're gonna keep giving away better and better stuff.
More
So,
stuff. Great stuff. Hey, go ahead. It's all you. Oh, wait, where did I? Am
okay,
I really up?
all right. So, whoops, where are we at here?
I don't know. I don't even
Yeah.
know where I'm at.
So, that's kind of the truth about how they. Sorry, hang on one second. Right. So I'm just going to cover in here real quick is so I went to Funko and I'm just going to show you a few things. Funko is actually a pretty easy one to find contact info for, but kind of just trying to stay with the same theme. So, there's, I wish there was just an easy way. Probably you guys wouldn't need me so much, but an easy way to find wholesale contact info. But this is the hard, one of the hardest parts, right? Like you find a great brand and you don't know how to contact them. So we have really gone through a lot of trouble, and I have a whole team, and we'll talk about this a little later. But I have, literally a whole team that does nothing but goes out and finds contact information and contacts brands for us, for our clients, and we've made some lists of these kind of things. And sorry, I just gotta share again so you can see the Funko page. So I'm on the Funko page. Sometimes you'll see something for resellers up here. Sometimes it's not so easy. Sometimes there's a frequently asked questions. And it might be in the FAQ. And other times we've like had to go to the investor and press sections. Like literally every site is just a little bit different. Sometimes we've had to just go to the contact us page, go to customer support, and say, hey, I'm a retailer, I'm in Florida, or usually I give them my zip code and my city or the closest major city, and I'll say, we're trying to, I'm trying to open a wholesale account. Can you give me the contact info or forward this to who I need to speak to, in general. Luckily, Funko makes it a lot easier. There is this reseller button right here. So if we click on resellers, it's going to give you a lot of the info. Basically says you need a verifiable brick and mortar or online retail location, which is literally everybody who's going to resell something. Obviously, there's other rules. Every one of them is going to be a little different. They actually do have a web form as well, or you can email them sales@Funko. So if you want a Funko account, there you go. Just you can go there, go to funko.com/reseller. That's going to give you all the info. Also has some info on distributors and all that good stuff. You can go there and read about that. But this is one of the easier ones. So, but a lot of them are hard. I can give you a lot of horror stories. We've gone so far as like going to LinkedIn and contacting, their CMO. We've contacted their, CEO and said, hey, we're a retailer and we're trying to like give you money and nobody will respond to us, and that's worked sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes you just have to go, take that extra step because other people aren't doing it. It's the same. If I got any booksellers in here, a lot of booksellers are lazy, right? So when we'd be doing, going to thrift stores, there'd be the booksellers who were too lazy to bend over and go to the bottom two shelves, and there was the booksellers who were too lazy to find that old book that's worth $200, but they wouldn't type in, they didn't want to type in the ISBN number, and all they want to do is scan barcodes and move on to the next one. So they missed all those books. I found a $700 book that didn't have a barcode on it before, at a thrift store, right behind, a bookseller who was using one of those old PDA scanners because he didn't want to type in a number. So,
Persistence.
right. The people who, are willing to go that extra step, the people who are persistent and are ready to you know, do what you need to do to become successful are going to do that, you know.
It's not as hard as you think.
Right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not that hard. None of this is that hard if you're persistent and if you have what you need. So we just went through all that. So you know, opening wholesale accounts without being ignored. Now I
I would
said
zoom out a little bit. I can't see that. I think where's it me? It's like all zoomed in the screen.
with you. Um, so you know, this can be the hardest part. You know, for all the reasons we already went through. You know, every time you apply to big brands, you get denied. If you don't have a brick and mortar, you'll never open accounts. You need a lie to open an account. And, you know, as we said, persistence and integrity is key, because yes, you can lie. You can say you have a brick and mortar store, but you're going to get an account, but then you're going to lose it because, sorry, just trying to catch up on the chat.
It's just me.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay, sorry.
Apparently there's this button where you expand the screen and it fixes
Right.
everything.
Wow, that's new. Okay, right. So you know, persistence and integrity is key, right? Even having, you know, a retail storefront, you know, which is helpful. You know, we have, like, before we ever opened our doors, we had every, you know, like brand. You know, if you're in toys, you know, every brand that you can't get, we had before we ever opened. You know, Crayola, Mattel, Hasbro. You know, Hot Wheels and Barbie and all that. And, you know, that's just a handful of brands, right? You know, it was worth it for us, but, you know, you don't need a Mattel account. Like, Mattel is ridiculously hard, you know, to get an account, even
Although
having
we
a
do
brick
have a
and
video.
mortar store. What?
I said, although we do have a video on that.
Right. I do have a video. We have a video on YouTube and all that showing you how to do it. You know, if you want a Mattel account, you know, just send me a message. I'll send you the link. You know, but you know, you can't have a fulfillment center. You can't ship to your house. You have to have a commercial address. You can't share, you know, wherever your products are going to be with anybody else. And then once you get past all that, I mean, you know, I make $5, $6, $10,000 orders with them, and you know, they send me $500 worth sometimes. You know, sometimes, you know, $1,200.
Oh,
So
that's
you
such a
know,
good.
they cancel, you know, more than they send usually. You know, sometimes we get lucky. I mean, you know, I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of my pictures where we've got, you know, pallets being delivered, you know, to our store. But you know, that doesn't seem to be the norm. So, you know, Mattel, you know, it goes back to, you know, these brands don't like money because, you know, I give them my credit card to charge me $10,000, and which just happened. Like I did like a 80 some $100 order, and they charged us $1,600, and you know, we got a pallet that was stacked like a foot high from them. So you know, they just cancel so much stuff for I don't even understand what. So you
But
know,
it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't have to even be that. It doesn't have to be like, do you guys understand there are thousands upon thousands of brands out there? It doesn't have to be the biggest one. There are so many profitable items you can find. And
and I'm just giving you that example.
yeah,
Well, you need a brick and mortar store to get
right,
those accounts, but you
right,
don't need those accounts, right?
no,
Like, you know,
exactly.
and you don't want, like, you know, I don't buy the stuff like, you know, I don't sell the top selling Barbie
Right,
stuff,
ever,
you know, because there's literally hundreds of people on those listings. So, you know,
ever.
you know, um, you know, there's a medium area, which is where you want to be. Like, you don't want to sell stuff that's ranked 300,000, but I don't want to sell the stuff that's ranked 1,000 either, even though I can. I literally have accounts with those brands and can, you know, buy any of that stuff, you know,
But
Hot
why
Wheels
compete
and
anyways?
Barbie and all of them. But I don't want to compete. I don't want to make 2% ROI and all
Right.
that stuff. So you see top, you know, top ranked products, that's good. But, you know, like I just showed you, you know, Funko, is great. Yeah, buy all you want, but if you're making what 6 cents or losing $2 on a lot of them, then it's not it's not worth it. But there are, I mean, the last time I looked, in our database, I think that recently sold in toys, of course, again, there was something like 32,000 brands that had recently sold under 100,000 in rank. So, there's a ton of stuff in the, 10,000 to 50,000
Yes.
rank range where, you find one good product, you open an account, and all of a sudden you find there's hundreds of products that haven't even been brought to the Amazon platform. And that's what wholesale, is going to
Yes.
do for you. It's what it does for us. So,
Yes.
if you don't mind creating listings, which I'm not a fan of, I don't do that a lot. But, I find a ton of products, I find a good product, even if I'm, going to yard sales or buying collections of toys, which, we do a lot. I travel all over the country buying toy collections for a store, and, we sell on eBay and, and wherever else. We find good products, and then I'll open in a wholesale account with that brand. And then, there's hundreds of products that, maybe the rank is high because, it's only been bought doing retail arbitrage. So somebody had to triple the retail price, to even make a small profit, where you can buy it at wholesale and you're selling it for the retail price and making, still making a good profit. So, there's a ton of great examples where, you can use retail arbitrage to go into wholesale or whatever sourcing format you find. Every brand does not have every product on Amazon, and that's, that should be really your key takeaway, being able to marry all of these things where, where everybody else is saying, oh, you need to buy, you need this wholesale course and any other way is wrong, or private label or whatever it is, or use tactical arbitrage, and here's my course, and you'll use it with tactical arbitrage, and, you're just going to buy OA, or, just buy from every clearance section, which is a horrible idea. You don't need to do one thing.
Right.
Your best profits, your best way to grow like we have is by, kind of marrying all those ideas together. I love doing retail arbitrage because it helps me find great brands that I can then sell. You go to Walmart and you see, whatever, a barbecue sauce, that, you're tripling, quadrupling your money, and they may have a couple of styles, but when you open an account, they've got 20 different products that have never even been listed on Amazon. But if something's ranked 10, 20, 30,000, people are searching for it. So they're
That's
searching for that
reverse
brand, and you're going to be able to sell all those products, even if it's never been listed. Like,
And that's what reverse sourcing is.
right.
Not
And
just taking what's in front of you and the top sellers and buying it.
right. A good example is when we used to, I used to source a lot, like at Ross and TJ Maxx, Marshalls, all those kind of places. And, like if you see a Nike shirt that's ranked, that doesn't have a rank, I have no question I'm going to sell that because people are looking for Nike, right? Or, Adidas or any of those top brands, or even if it's not listed, if you create a listing, somebody's going to buy that eventually. So, oh, I thought something just came up. So, people think you can't get brands to respond, make an impact, open a wholesale account. So, if you don't know how to make brands respond, we've kind of, like I said, we've built these things. So, it's a lot of trial and error, and, you don't want to tell them you're an Amazon seller. You don't want to tell them all these things. You tell them, you tell them what they want to hear, which is the things that you should be saying. We tell them, and I'm not afraid to tell you what we say, but, we tell them, hey, we're, we're a small business. I'm not the owner, right? That's a main mistake that most Amazon sellers do. Number one is you say you're an Amazon seller in the first email. That doesn't matter. If they ask you, I'll tell them, but they usually don't ask me because, I give them all the information they want to know, which doesn't set all those red flags off that, is going to tell them, hey, this is a problem Amazon seller. They don't want the problems. So I say, you know, we say, hey, we're, I, I've researched your brand. Here's the products that I'm interested in buying from you. So that says you're not giving them, just sending a template to hundreds of stores. You say what your name is and your title, which shouldn't be the owner, right? You're the purchasing agent. You've been authorized to make a purchase immediately from them. And here's the products that I want to sell. And we tell them a lot more. But, if you do those things, you're telling them some very important stuff. You're saying, this is not a form letter. I am not just the guy who, I'm not a one-man show who just wants, to get your list to do whatever with, and I've researched your brand and I know exactly what I want to buy. And I have money and I'm ready to make a purchase right now. Those are the things that brands want to see. Well, Michael, I mean, I completely disagree. Um, you know, I've opened hundreds or thousands of wholesale accounts, and I just don't have that experience. It depends. Like I said, it really depends on how you approach these brands. And if they ask me if I'm an Amazon seller, like I said, I don't lie to them. Maybe your experience is wrong because, there are hundreds of thousands of companies, out there that, may have, different business practices. But, when you approach them, in the correct way, they almost never ask me if I'm an Amazon seller. If you do all those things that, they don't want to see, then of course they're going to say, the last 100 guys who were Amazon sellers and never bought anything said all this stuff. So we're going to ask them the same thing. So, that may be your experience, but it's not ours, and it really hasn't been most of our clients. Um, so like I said, brands hate Amazon sellers because they've been trained to treat brands in a certain way, and it costs them money with no benefits. Brands want to work with small businesses, um, and work with those who have actually will make them money, and accelerate their brand. And most brands hate dealing with Amazon directly. So, we've been able to get so many accounts where the brands just did not want to deal with Amazon. It's really a pain to deal with Amazon, as a brand, because they will order one of this and three of this, and if it doesn't sell for a certain amount of days, they'll return it, and you as a brand have to pay those costs. So most of them will do just about anything not to deal with Amazon directly. And Amazon sets the price on top of all that. So if you buy from them and sell on Amazon, you set the price, right? They're going to tell you how much they want, and then you sell it. Obviously they may have some rules with that, but most brands, when they deal with Amazon, Amazon's going to say, well, this is what we're willing to sell, buy it for, either take it or leave it. But, now with all of the companies that are closing, and, big companies like, Sears and Kmart and, Toys R Us and, countless other companies that have went out of business in the last few years, they just, the way they deal with small businesses has changed. Yes, when I started, nobody if you can sell 100 truckloads of toys to Toys R Us or Kmart and Walmart, and you just send it to one distribution center and they deal with it from there, obviously they want to do that. But now those opportunities are fleeting. They're gone because there's just not so many brands anymore. And a lot more obviously is being sold online. So they're more open to work with small brands. And in the end, if they say, hey, are you an Amazon seller? And if we say yes and they don't want to deal with us, then there's literally tens of thousands of other brands that will want to deal with us in that niche. Right, Michael. You don't know their price list ahead of time, but you do know that other people are selling it, other people are making money. So you should be able to make money. And, that's why we're very selective in the brands that we do choose to deal with. So research the brands first, and then we make a decision if that's something that we feel we want to deal with. And if it is, we open our account and see if, that's something we can make a profit with.
Questions? Does anybody have questions? If so, put them in the Q&A at the bottom. You want to do a giveaway since we're taking pause?
Sure.
All right. What do you want to give away?
Why don't we give away a copy of our Black Friday sourcing?
Ooh, okay. All right, so Black Friday. So we have, if you don't know, we have taken all of the top ads as they've been leaked, broken them down piece by piece. Our team sourced them, direct links, ROI, profit, anything that's in those catalogs to see if it's something that would work for your business, if it's something you can profit on, if it's worth buying. You can obviously look at history. And that's great.
Right. So, so our Black Friday list, like Valerie said, but a little bit more on that. We basically took all the top, stores, Walmart, Target, Kohl's Black Friday ad, except for Doorbusters, has already started. So you can take advantage of that. We have well over a dozen at this point. I have a whole team that we kind of dedicate to this time of year. And we take those ads and we go every product one by one and we compare them to Amazon. We find the listings on Amazon. We find the listings at the store, and we show you the ROI and everything else, same way you would research any other product, but we do it with the Black Friday ads. So when it's time to start buying, you already know. You're not spending your whole day on Thanksgiving trying to figure out a product to buy. You already know what ROI you're getting, and we do it for every product and every one of those Black Friday ads that that we can match. Obviously there's stuff like 15% off of all the underwear or whatever it is, so you can't match that up, or selected video games or whatever, stuff like that. But everything that we can is an actual product that we can match, we do that. We put them in the individual spreadsheets that are on Google Drive, so anything gets updated, we can go in there and update them for you live and all that stuff. So we charge $149 for that product, and it's kind of unlimited. You get unlimited access no matter how many we break down, and we kind of just keep working right up until basically this coming Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving, and we break them down all for you.
So everybody who gets the answer wrong has to buy it. Like, you get charged for it. Unless you get it right, then you get it free. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so what's the question?
So, and this might be difficult, so if I'm wrong or if it's too much, if nobody knows, we can make an easier question for you guys. But there was a slide where we were talking about exposing the truth and what people, like false beliefs, and it said wrong, and there was an image, a Bitmoji image of Shawn in the bottom left-hand corner, and what was it? What was he doing, and what was it of?
I don't even know this.
I do. But in the wrong, and you have to go back and prove it so that everybody knows. Okay, all right, so Lisa, you're close, but ooh, I don't know. I said, what was he doing? Do we just give it to him because they were right of what it was? Not what, right?
Well, okay. Well, what's the answer?
It was a cat, which is correct. So Lisa had a cat. Lisa, you can totally win this. You know what the cat was? Jeff, you're done. Like, you can't copy people's answers, Jeff. What was the cat doing, Lisa? Do you remember? Because you totally have it if you do. No. Dan, that's a really good guess. I would say that's a pretty solid guess. come on, Lisa. You've got to know. If not, I'll just give it to you for the cat because apparently, meow. Nope, not. Nope. No.
Oh, okay. Okay, you people are way off. I was not combing my goatee. No.
If it was
Did I do
juggling,
that?
I would have laughed even more.
Okay, it was a cat. I was dressed like a cat. What was I doing?
You were eating a sandwich because you were going like, nope, like wrong. So you were a cat.
Looking at it right now. I don't know. Can you see my screen? But
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
there
And
it is right
Jim,
there. So,
you get it. This is a professional webinar, Jim, with that response. Jesus. I'm just kidding. All right, so Lisa, nobody else. At least you got the cat. You were eating a sandwich like you showed. So Lisa, what type of okay? If somebody names the sandwich,
I kind of can tell what that is. Yeah.
it's a
Nobody even
sandwich.
knew it was a sandwich. No.
It's a sandwich.
What kind of sandwich?
I think it had lettuce and maybe tomato on it. I just
It does. It's probably a BLT. There might be a hint of bacon in there somewhere. I
let
don't
me
know.
see. Is there? I don't know.
Jeff says BLT. He wins an Air 5. There you go.
All right. So you're good. All right. Lisa, please send us your email in the Q&A. And you, ma'am, get Jeff, you need to get on your game. All right. So yes. So Lisa, go ahead. Send us your email in the Q&A so I can go ahead and send that to you. Michael, if you don't see it, she might have just let me see. She might have sent it. Yeah, so she's just sending it. Does anybody else see Lisa's answer?
No, because she sent it to the panel.
Just the panelists. So again, if you guys answer, send it to all panelists.
And attendees.
And yeah, and attendees. Sorry. Can I attach an image in the chat so everybody can see that she actually is responding and we're not just coming up with names? I know everybody gets finicky sometimes. Oh, I can't take can I not take a screenshot right now?
I don't even know. But
full disclosure. Lisa, hello. Can you just say cat so we know? Apparently there's a little bit of unease.
There we go.
Michael,
I don't know how that even.
can we add it to the webinar slides?
There we go. Okay, there you go.
You people are out of hand. There we go.
There you go. You see Lisa there. Okay, whatever. Maybe I'm a liar. I don't know.
No, you see it. You see it's right here. All right, there's Lisa's response. Keep going.
Okay, awesome. So, man, we're like an hour and a half into this. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we're not keeping it down to an hour, but we're all hanging out here. So, okay. So, right. So over the last few years, what I've done, we've talked about sourcing secrets a little bit. So what I've done is, I've developed a team and developed some software that does all of this, everything we've talked about, I guess, in the last 90 minutes, that can do all of this in about 60 seconds. So, and actually, I did time this earlier, 60 seconds is kind of
He did.
off. I mean, it literally takes like 5 seconds. So basically, if you want to see, like, we basically built a team that for the last at least 2 years has been doing nothing but finding contact information for what our clients request and all the top selling brands, basically full time, a whole team of people. So
we don't allow them to sleep. They don't even sleep. They
don't sleep because I don't know. They make like 20 cents an hour. So, they gotta work a lot, but not really. We pay them a good wage, but, so you guys want to see how we do this in like the next few seconds?
I know for sure that Michael is going to have a timer, so you better get your together because Michael's got a timer on and he's going to see if this happens in 60 seconds. Aren't you, Michael? I know it. Full disclosure.
So yeah, so somebody if you want to time it, that's cool. We can do that too, but so yeah, so I think a lot of you know about. Okay, so this is my tool sourcing secret. We've done a lot. Don't start my timer yet, but we've done a lot of crazy stuff. I've done, everything that nobody else seemed to be able to do. Not like every other tool out there. You got to enter your codes from Amazon and give me access to, like every tool wants, access to your Amazon account so they can, now it's coming out that they can track your history and, all the products you're selling and all that. But you don't give us anything. Well, I spent way more money than I should have by, buying third-party data constantly.
To make
So,
it legit, right?
right. So we don't need, we don't need to, I don't have no API codes from you guys from Amazon. We don't, we're not connected to Amazon at all like every other tool is. So, so what we've done is we've actually collected the top 100,000 selling products on Amazon every day for years now for every category. And the top 10,000 products in every subcategory. So what we were able to do is say, hey, show me the top 100,000 on Amazon. And we do the opposite. Like everything's the reverse of what everyone else does. So we said, hey, we'll get the top 100,000 products, and then we'll go back to Amazon and say, give me, tell me what the rank is and tell me what all this other stuff is. So we can count and see, how many of each product is, recently sold in the top 100,000. So nothing in here is actually, nothing in here has no rank, has not sold recently. Everything has recently been, under 100,000 in rank. So when you go to Amazon and search for Lego or Funko, you're gonna see tons of products that aren't in toys, aren't, haven't ever sold, have no rank, because Amazon thinks that's a product that you're looking for. So we kind of reverse that and said, give me the top 100,000, and then we're going to go back and find the rank and find all this other stuff, and then build this into this, amazing product in my opinion. Excuse me, in my opinion, for you guys. So now we have data that nobody else has. Like we know Amazon or Lego has about 2,000 products that have recently sold in the top 100,000. You'll never see that, or you may soon, but you haven't seen that in any other product. So, so what we're looking at is the most prolific products in toys right now. So we, and we've done a lot of other good stuff, but we're talking about wholesale today, so I'm just. So we've taken the top 100,000 products, and now if you want contact information, for example, we've been talking about, which we already found, Funko. So Funko is the fourth, let's say, most prolific product in toys. There's about 15,000 brands that have recently sold in the top 100,000, just in the toy category. So if we want to see contact info for Funko, anything that has this eye like this, we already have contact info for. You click on it, it pops up all the contact info, the reseller page, which we found on our own, their headquarters phone number, email address. Some have a lot more. You can download all this as a CSV with the click of a button, and you can download as many as you want. If you see one with the question mark, that means we haven't gotten that yet. You can just click on it and we'll go out and my team will put it in the queue and we'll find that there. We currently have that info on over 23,000 different companies. So, if you're looking for contact information for just about any brand that anybody's looking for, it's there. Super simple. Like I said, it's a couple clicks of a button. We just go to toys, click on contact info, and the info pops up and you have it. You shoot them a message. Now we've built a lot of other stuff. We have a whole masterclass, which Valerie will talk about in a minute, but a ton of other resources, the exact templates that we use, like I talked about, the emails that, we spent a lot of money honing and split testing, to get great results. So what we've done is we We basically just blanked out our information and left you spaces where you can put your info in there. You can download the top 100,000 products in any category. There's over 30,000 subcategories that we have. You can download the top 10,000 products in any of those subcategories, and all the products from any of these brands as well. So it's as simple as clicking a button. You click on whatever Funko, and it's going to download a list of all of the products from.
Pull that up. Can you pull that up? Okay.
Yep. I don't know. Can you see that? I don't know.
Yep.
If you can see the screen. So these are all the top selling products. UPCs, buy box price, if there is one. A lot of them are suppressed for Funko because a lot of them have been discontinued and the prices have just gone crazy. So
people links, very
important. Last price changes, Amazon links, and so on. So
trends,
all that info is there at a click of a button. And the way we get accounts open so well is because we use this tool. We do our research. We see if it's a brand we want to deal with, and then in that template we send them a copy of our sales tax ID. We send them our letter, which we're going to give you, that you just fill in your own info in. And then we're also able to do something no one else can do, which is give them all of the products we're interested in, like I had told you before. So all we do is download that list of products. We send them the titles and the UPCs and say, hey, there's a list of the products we're interested in. We're ready to make a purchase immediately. And all the other stuff we talked about, which is all in those templates for you, which is included in the masterclass. And you just send all that together, and we get a great acceptance rate of you can.
And a lot of times it avoids those questions. A lot of times it avoids the uncomfortable questions, but even when it does, the thing is so many people think that you just give up, but it doesn't work that way. Persistence is key. I mean, if it was that easy, it wouldn't be so rewarding. And that sounds so cliche, but literally you show integrity, you show business integrity, you have the tools that are right there to do it. Everything that you need for your business, because everybody's business is different. But, we've been told no numerous times or need more info. And again, there's nothing shady that we do that would be, ridiculous. I don't know. Maybe Michael, or Jim over there might. No, I'm just kidding. But, we don't do it. So we don't lie. We're not giving false information. We're just approaching it from a different approach with knowledge at our fingertips. And then you don't just give up if you're told no. I mean, there's been so many times we've applied to brands way back in the day. And even now sometimes still it's just easy, but you apply and you get denied. Well, then you start opening accounts with more brands, and you might get denied to 5 of them, but 2 more you just got added to. And then in a month you try again, and now because you have 2 more brands, now you have a better algorithm, oh, okay, well, now 2 more. So
in reality, we just every few months we'll circle around to a lot of those brands. It doesn't take long to send another email, say, I know you weren't interested in dealing with us, but a few months ago, but we're just checking to see where you're at. And then you can be just sending out form letters, but in reality, that's not the focal point of our business. There's just, as you've seen, there's so many brands out there that we can just we just move on to another one. If somebody doesn't want to take our money, we'll give it to somebody else. And I'm sure you've had a lot of the same situations. A lot of you said you were denied. So we're in the same boat. No matter what size of a business you are, you're going to have these same struggles. And the way to get by them is just to move on. Say, oh, nobody will respond to me. Well, a lot of that could be this issue. But if they're saying, we just don't want to sell to you, then okay, we'll just move on to somebody who will. And maybe when you get bored, you can send them another message saying hey, are you still not interested in doing business with us. A lot of them may have an exclusive with, another Amazon seller, or they were selling to Amazon and, that Amazon seller fell through, or they don't like dealing with Amazon anymore, or, you don't know what's going on the other end. But I really don't let that stuff bother me. I'm very selective in who I contact, which may be a lot more of a reason why I'm not getting denied as much, because I'm not selling to those big, huge brands. I'm not, and another thing which I didn't cover, which I've talked about in a lot of videos that, really bothers me is, those guys who are telling you, oh, you need to contact this, 10 million, 100 million, billion-dollar brand and tell them, how everything they're doing is wrong and how you're going to fix their business. I don't want anybody to tell me how my successful business is wrong, and these brands don't want to either. Flying there, there's a lot of money in flying under the radar and, getting it done and, getting an account. And then, hey, if you got some ideas, maybe talking to your rep and then they pass it along may help, your business and their business. But you don't start a relationship by telling, $100 million toy brand that, everything they do is wrong. So, you may want to look, if you're constantly getting denied, then you may want to look at, some of the reasons why, and it may not just be because you're an Amazon seller. So,
and a lot of false things too is that people think, again, it's like there's no get rich quick thing off of this. And I think there's a lot of false hope thinking that's out there, and it's not. You still have to put in the work, and there's still a process. And as the industry evolves, processes are going to evolve and businesses need to evolve. So, it's harnessing all the things that are out there for you as an individual, your business as an individual, and really, shaping it to your needs and working on that. So I am going to get, oh, shit. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen now. Am I sharing my screen? I'm not sharing my screen. All right. Can y'all see everything?
yeah, I think you need to jump ahead a little bit.
Yeah, but I just want to make sure we can see it. So let's go to questions. We did the 60 seconds. So this is, aside from, covering, reverse sourcing, there are plenty of ways you guys, you can learn and master reverse sourcing. We would very much suggest it being a goal for you in 2020 to just change the sourcing method, evolve, take your techniques to find brands and not really worry about everything that's top selling out there, because there are thousands and hundreds of thousands of products, that are just at your disposal. You get kind of stuck in, I guess, a mode, and then that's why you scramble all year, I guess, and that's why we scrambled for so long. But when you take control of your business and you take control of the brands and you take control of your choices, and you open up your mind to not scrambling, to actually just building, it's kind of a new business plan, and that really sets you up for success. And I hope that, and we hope that you guys take the information and the tips and strategies that we've given you into consideration for 2020. So what we are just going to kind of conclude this with and introduce this with is that we had our most successful year last year. We were so lucky to help, like I said, thousands of sellers. And so as kind of a celebration on our end, we're going to introduce the 2020 sourcing machine, which is our top selling products, personalized coaching, basically everything, and for a lifetime of it. We will be there, like we were for Jen, at your disposal. We have a team dedicated to this. We want other sellers to kind of get on the same track to where, you know, unfortunately, you know, big store brands are going out, and now it's going to all be online selling, and we're on the path to that. We're on the track to that, and we're doing it in a way that hopefully can make it more tangible for people and not so deflating and defeating. It's all there, and you know, you can take advantage. So the 2020 sourcing machine, super excited, yay. So you'll do exactly what we showed you. Find the top selling products, you have access to them, you can subscribe to them, or you can contact them. If you can't, then you bring it to us, and instead of spending hours upon hours doing that, I mean, you can do exactly what you just saw. Go to a category under 60 seconds, see the brands, download their catalog, and make the decisions for yourself, and then source from there and keep links, history, all that's important. Maybe that all sounds super overwhelming to you, but that's why you have a team behind you. You have me, you have Shawn, you have us, and a personalized coaching plan for 2020, and then for the rest of them, obviously for life. So this is all about utilizing the tools that are there, out there, that will be there for 2020, increasing your growth, an easier, less time consuming way of sourcing. And, you know, everybody hates finding products that you can sell just to come back and find out you're gated, you're restricted, whatever it may be. There's not enough replenishment in them to actually keep them in your inventory. You have to go find something else now. So this is really wholesale, hoping that if that's the direction you want to go, you can do it on your own. Hopefully, again, you can do that on your own, and hopefully we gave you some great tips to do that. But you know, we are also able to give you tools that can do more. So here's what you get, and we're so excited because we have never been able to do this before. So this is one of the things you'll get: lifetime access to our auto and gating list. So you get all of the brands that we know right now, and this will be updated weekly, daily, sometimes for the rest of your life. Like, this never goes away. You get, some people pay for
Okay. Let me just jump in here real quick.
Yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah, so if you guys aren't subscribed to our auto and gating list, we have a restricted brands list that has over 1,500 brands that are known to be restricted to most people. You can go and apply, and you're going to get auto ungated in most of those. The way we do it is the ones we're not auto ungated in, we just, you know, put those in a list and reapply every month. So
Yes.
our auto ungating list, I don't even remember what we, you know, we have about an $1,100 value on it, which is, you know, I think what we sell it for over the course of 5 years.
Yes.
Basically every week, every Friday, I believe, actually it's whenever you sign up, you know, every 7 days we.
No, this is just the list.
More.
The subscription is next. This is just the list.
Okay. So you get the list. Let's go to the next slide.
Yep.
Of all the ungating brands.
Oh, this is the brands list.
Right. So you get all the restricted brands. We add to these just about every day when we find new ones. We also have, you know, the auto ungating brands. We have, you know, and then you get that every, you know, every week. Once a week, you get at least 10 more. So, you know, 40 new brands a month. And, you know, if you've ever tried to get auto ungated, you see somebody saying, you know, this brand's getting auto ungated right now, you know, you got to find a product, enter the ASIN, you know, and we have, you know, we figured out how to give you direct links to that. So it takes you right to the auto ungating or the ungating page, and you hit the button to apply, and either it's going to get auto ungated or you're going to, you know, it's going to ask you, which I'm sure we've all seen, ask you for, you know, documentation. So to ask you for documentation, we're either going to circle around to it in another month, or we're going to, you know, just go back, you know, and we're going to open an account. You know, Sourcing Secret probably has whatever brand that you're looking for. We'll get the contact information, open an account with them. You know, and as well as all those wholesale lists. I'm sure you've seen the wholesale lists we have, which a lot of those are now integrated into Sourcing Secret, but all the top selling, brands in a lot of the top categories, as well as contact information for all of them. And that is, we have that, and you also get the weekly/monthly subscription to that, where we're just sending you new brands every week. Every week. It's a monthly subscription. You'll get lifetime access, but every week we release a new set of brands that we like with contact information and all that stuff, as well as the ones that we believe auto engage for you. Obviously, it depends on your metrics. If you're a newer seller, even better. You don't have any bad metrics. If you have good metrics, if you're not merchant fulfilling, pretty much everybody has good metrics. So if you don't have a bunch of negatives, so you're going to get auto approved in most of those. If not, like I said, we just keep circling around to them. And every time we apply, a good percentage of those gets undone. And then, which I don't like to do, but, we're doing this for you guys as kind of our big Black Friday deal that we do, once a year. I've never given away lifetime access to any of this stuff before. So, but what we're doing here is, we're going to help you either, if you need a plan of action for your business, you don't know what you're doing, you're going around and searching clearance sections, going from Walmart to Walmart, or, whatever you're doing, whatever you want to get into. If you want to do OA, RA, wholesale, or like us, do a mix of both, you want to open a retail store, pretty much anything other than private label, we can help you with. If you're just, spinning your wheels and you don't know what to do, we're going to help you with that. Or, if you just need help, with, Sourcing Secret, and, you just want to master that how we have, then, we can help you with that. So there's we're going to do a 1-hour personal coaching call whenever you want over the course of the next year, if it's next week or in 3 months, once you get up to speed. We're going to schedule a time. We've raised our rates to, it's $500 an hour for personal coaching with me. And, we're throwing that all in this package. And you want to go to the next slide?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
this is the total. We kind of.
So when we add all this together, it's a stack like every webinar, $13,116. Obviously, not charging anybody that. Can we go to the next slide? Let's just go on ahead. So this is all the stuff you get. $997. This is what we charge for a year of Sourcing Secret. So the annual subscription is $997 a year. If you pay by the month, it's, 20 or 30% more. But we're giving you lifetime access to everything other than Sourcing Secret. Restricted brands list, auto and gating, a coaching session, coaching session with me, every one of our wholesale lists, multiple ones in toys, home, baby, grocery, beauty, our coffee list, the auto and gating brands list subscription, and all these subscriptions, they all come out, every week, and as well as the restricted brands list. So, if you're worried, the restricted brands list is really, I think one of the most vital things here for the bonuses, because, if you're doing online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, you don't want to find stuff, buy it, and then find out it's not something you can sell, or even worse, send it in and, people get suspended and all kinds of stuff. So, it's kind of a twofold bit of awesome, because, on one side, what not to buy. On the other side, you can go and apply for those things, right? You can go and apply, you can get ungated or open accounts and get ungated. And, those things you're restricted in, I feel are awesome. They're the best things, because when you get ungated, when you're doing wholesale and you open a wholesale account, all those other guys are still gated in there. They're still trying to buy stuff in the clearance section at Walmart, when and they can't buy it, but you can, because you open a wholesale account, you prove you can, you're an authorized distributor now, so you can buy those products anywhere. And it really gives you a leg up being, ungated in those things that everyone else are typically restricted in.
Right. So yeah, so Sourcing Secret is our biggest software. Basically, you're just subscribing for the year. You can cancel at any time, but no matter what, you are getting lifetime access. Not that we think you would cancel, because next year we have some like super exciting features we're adding in already in the works. So it's just going to blow up even more. But basically for what, people have already, they pay by the year, just like you would a lot of your stuff. Where no matter what, you get lifetime access to everything else that we feel you would need to have a successful 2020, and obviously they're forward, because you'll have it forever.
And one thing we've only talked about to our members that I just want to bring up briefly is that we're building our own mobile scanner. So if you like doing mobile scanning, you like seeing the stuff that you see, the stuff we talked about, if you want to get contact, for one thing, it's going to do a ton of stuff no other mobile scanner is doing. But if you want to go to the store and you're scanning stuff, and you want to open a wholesale account, there's going to be a button in there that's just going to send you the contact info. And if we don't have it, there'll be a button to, for our team to go get it. You've seen that Keepa was taken out of every other mobile scanner if you use them. ScanPower don't have it. All those other guys, Scoutify, whatever is out there. Amazon forced them to take it out. But since we are not an Amazon developer, we don't have to follow those rules. So we're able
to. The rights. We bought our own.
Right. So we buy them from we buy all the information from multiple third parties. So we can do whatever we want with that. We can have Keep in there. We can have, sales estimates right in the mobile app. Right. And, all that stuff that you want all these tools to do, or you've recently seen removed, we're putting in there. I've already put it in there, and it's going to stay there because we buy our data. We don't, we don't have some. We're not under Amazon thumb because we're getting that information from third-party tools and not directly from Amazon. Right. So we don't have to follow their developers' terms of service. So you can go with this, Valerie.
Oh. Well, didn't know you were throwing that announcement in there. All excited about it. Super secret. Yeah, so super exciting. So the real question is, obviously, at this point in the webinar, is it worth investing? Because we are all worried all the time about investing. You do not have to. There is absolutely no reason behind it that if you feel like we're forcing it. So, but the reward of it is that next year, this year, did you ever encounter like, hey, I want to purchase this tool. Hey, I want to do this. So we kind of skipped through it. I'm sorry. But, if we have people and have had that people buy the annual plan, they buy our restricted plan, and some of them may be you as well. And, but those tools come to play like when you need them. You're being proactive about 2020. You have us at your disposal, and you have $13,000 worth of tools. If you bought them all separately, just like anything else, that you're just basically you're buying the annual Sourcing Secret to break it down, which you would anyways, but you're going to get everything else for life. So, and super, exciting in case you didn't know, taxes are right around the corner, end of the year. You can write it off. You can write off this money. And I say this to people all the time that come to us for help or to help. As long as it will pay for itself, and as long as it does pay for itself, then that is an investment. That is what every business does. It doesn't matter if you're a construction worker and you need shoes, typical boots that will last you 3 years. Those $400 boots paid for themselves. Or you're a nurse who wants comfortable scrubs, or, whatever it is, if it pays for itself, it's worth your investment. You have to invest in yourself. And that's why we're offering this, because we're super excited. And you think of any business that has like a successful year, we're excited. We're kind of celebrating ourselves in a way. And we want to share that and have more people to help, because 2020 is for bigger profits. It is for wholesale. It is for sellers who want to stop hovering on computers, spend more time with their family. Just give yourself, value your time, and that's what we, unfortunately, we didn't always have, but we developed a way to have it very easy. And why wouldn't you? I would have loved it. So why wouldn't you share that? So this is a celebration for us. This is our Black Friday celebration. It is only going to be available until Cyber Monday. And if you think that it's going to work for you, we want to be there. So most of the time, let's just kind of get it out there. Most people stray away from things because of the cost, the investment. I don't have the resources right now. And you may not, but if you do want it and you think about later on and in 2020, all those tools you're going to want or need or that might benefit you. I mean, it's free for life, which we have never, ever done for all of these tools. So again, if you want Sourcing Secret and you're like, man, I've really been like wanting to go, you get Sourcing Secret for a year. If you know you don't want to resubscribe or you're not sure and you cancel tomorrow, you still get Sourcing Secret for the entire year and you get everything else for free. There's those free things. I mean, they basically pay for themselves. I don't know, it's just money investment. So write it off, be smart. If it's not for you, don't. But this is basically what it boils down to. This is what we're offering. This is our celebration. Thank you guys for joining us on this webinar. We're glad to help people. And again, kind of like back what Jen said, we do take our job as a community as well. Please, if you have to call me at 10:30, I'm fine with it, but 5 o'clock would be great. But we're here for that. We would have nothing if it wasn't for our students that also help us grow, for our customers that give us insight of to what we're doing wrong or how we could do better. We owe that all to you guys. And so this is a celebration for us. And we're excited to do that. So everybody who has maybe considered in 2019 to buy our Sourcing Secret, which is awesome and even going to be better in 2020, we just want to say thank you for doing that and having faith in us and helping us grow and helping us get to this point. And everything else we have to offer, we want to share it with you. So just a recap, because we skipped through it a little bit, you're going to get our auto and-gating list, free for life. We have over 1,600 brands we know automatically. We have brands we know automatically engate. This will be updated forever. Again, for most sellers, these brands auto engate. Right now, you might get ungated in 10 of them out of 15, whatever it may be. But again, as we cannot stress enough, and even if you don't use this, say you don't take this and you move forward going to getting auto ungated on your own, don't ever stop. Keep reapplying. That is key. You don't just stop when somebody tells you, if you're denied a promotion at work, you still want that promotion, you keep trying. So keep trying. But these are brands that we're giving you like, hey, go get auto ungated. You might not even know they exist. You get that for life, no matter how much it changes. Our auto ungating subscriptions. So this is new brands every week for the rest of your life. This is proactivity for your business. And it's new brands every week for life. So training, or yeah, I guess I should say that too. We're going to provide training, call scripts, templates, obviously us at your disposal. So that will never go away. Even if you cancel your Sourcing Secret subscription, that will never go away. The restricted brands list, Shawn touched on this. This is probably one of our biggest assets. I mean, it's so huge. It's such a time saver. And we love tactical arbitrage. Alex is one of our great friends, and we'll provide video training, whether you use tactical arbitrage or you use something else, how you can integrate this list. We have training on using the list, also integrating it with your other sourcing tools. So that way you're maximizing this list, and you have that for life. Then our wholesale brands subscription. We are giving you 10 new wholesale brands every week for life with contact information. Your first week's brands alone have over 3,000 products to source. So that is massive. I mean, even if you walked away from this webinar with 3,000 products to source in for the rest of your life, I guess, even though this is for 2020, but you have lifetime access. I mean, that in and of itself is something we're super excited to offer. So training, our team, we're behind you. We are there. We get it. This is just something that we're super excited to announce. Just like this is like our Target ad or our Walmart ad. We're excited. Our wholesale list, everybody loves these. If you have them already, we'll work with you. If you have any of these already, we'll work with you. But this is what you get for every single one. The grocery category alone has over 10,000 top-selling products. And we update these lists. Every once in a while, we'll go back in and update it because, you might have bought it a month ago. And in 6 months, it might change. So for life, they will be updated. You will have new products to source. Right now, if you looked at just right now, there's over 60,000 products. I mean, it's there.
Right. We update these brands, just so we're clear. I update the brand. So we don't add new brands, obviously,
right,
to the list. But what I do is I update the products that are from those brands. So, if it's toys and Funko or whatever, and, Duncan Hines and grocery, we do find new products that, are worth selling from those brands, and we do add them into there. Every few months we go back, we revisit them, we update, ROIs and all the good stuff, and we add, new products from that brand if they're, if they qualify that they should be there.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's super exciting too, and you'll get that for life again. And then this is one of the ones we're super excited about too, is the coaching call with Shawn. So this is us basically you building a business plan for you. You have questions, ask him. This is a custom, this is a coaching call. This is just for you, your business. You want to bring your VA team on. If you have a VA team, bring them on. We'll figure out what obstacles you faced, how to avoid them in 2020, or maybe what we need to do. And we'll be there, hey, this is my goal, 10 wholesale brands. All right, well, we're going to figure out how to get you 10 wholesale brands, because if we don't, then we're not succeeding either. So whatever it is you need, you're going to get that. And that's really exciting for us too, because we don't get to really do that. So it's very exciting. So basically you're break it down. Battle of what to buy, who to buy from. You're going to know, be aggressive, be knowledgeable. And in 2020, you can be confident. So one of the things we had a hard time doing is growing our business without feeling like we were depleting the investments. So tedious time to, like I said, sourcing or finding products that, they were great, and then just to find you're denied. I mean, we had to find a better way, and we were lucky to have done so, and that's why this is our celebration, and we're sharing it with you guys. And this might just be something you're thinking, it's something I would have, I thought about. Can you afford that annual? And again, this is for basically you're just buying 1 year of software. So can you afford that? One, you can write it off. That's a perk right now, just to consider. But then considering your investment, do you think if you did this, $9.97, would you make it back plus some? If you can make an investment back and profit from it, it is 100% worth it, right? Like you have to consider those things in a business. And that's what, it doesn't matter what you do you always consider reinvesting in yourself. So consider that if you're thinking this, and you might be considering, you're on the fence, whatever. It's just, you might say no, and that's fine, but it's just something to consider for everything that is involved. And this is basically breaking it down. So you get Sourcing Secret for 1 year. I mean, you can have it more if you want it, but basically people who buy Sourcing Secret annually, they're getting just Sourcing Secret. And instead, we're going to give you lifetime access to our wholesale brands list. That's weekly leads for the rest of your life of brands to open wholesale accounts with. Lifetime access to our auto ungating brands list subscription. Again, weekly leads to brands that auto ungate. You can reapply, you can come to us, you can ask us what you're doing wrong, you can use our proven scripts. We have training. All of our wholesale lists right now, and there's over like 60,000 products, but I mean, again, we said that's going to evolve. Our restricted brands list for life, our auto ungating brands list for life, and then your free personal coaching session, your business plan building for 2020. So that's kind of what the bundle is. This is our 2020 celebration. So yeah, so $9.97, that's the value.
Awesome. How do we sign up?
So, oh yeah, and there's all the other stuff too. So we're gonna have you sign up. Oh yeah, I liked this one, oil changes. I thought that was that was catchy. So we're just going to, this is way longer. We are going to have you sign up. Anybody? Right here. It's kind of like a strobe light for a minute, like a show. So this is where you can sign up, bf.shawnmayo.com. You guys will all have this in your registration. I'm going to give a couple more giveaways as well to everybody who is in here. But this is where you can go, check it out, see if it's going to fit for you. Email me if you have questions. If there's something that you're like, I might have some of these already, what can we do? We will get you covered. Or even if you're not going to sign up, but you still have questions that maybe weren't answered on the webinar, because there actually were not a lot of questions sent. If you guys have questions, send them now.